All right, let's dive into a really fascinating social innovation project today called Cohandy Global. We're going to break down their incredibly powerful communication strategy and, how they use one single core idea to tackle a bunch of problems that on the surface seem totally unrelated.
So get this. This statement comes directly from one of their pitch documents. It's bold, it's direct, and it just stops you in your tracks, right? It's such a powerful hook because it connects two things you probably don't think about together, housing and healthcare. It just makes you wonder, how could one possibly lead to the other?
I mean, it seems like a bit of a stretch, doesn't it? How on earth can fixing a leaky pipe actually impact something as critical as maternal health? Well, to answer that, we need to dig into the super innovative model of Cohandy Global, and maybe even more importantly, how they talk about what they do. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the new kind of care they're offering, then we'll look at the Cohandy model itself. After that, we'll break down how they pitch their huge idea to all these different audiences, and we'll wrap it all up with why this model is just so important. So first up, a new kind of care. Cohandy's core belief is that maintenance, fixing things, isn't just a chore. It can actually be a movement. At the very heart of their philosophy is this really powerful concept they call sacred stewardship. What they do is take work that most of us see as kind of mundane, fixing a pipe, weeding a garden, and they completely reframe it as a meaningful, dignified act. It's all about creating pride and discipline by connecting people to the simple act of caring for their own environment. So that's the big idea. But how do they actually put that philosophy into practice? Let's take a look at the actual mechanics of the Cohandy model. The model is built on just a few key components. You've got these youth fix-it circles doing all the hands-on work, and they're funded by something they call diaspora blessing flows. But what's really amazing is the language they use here. Things like ceremonial onboarding, badges, faith-rooted beautification. This isn't just a job. It becomes a rite of passage. It connects this very local action to a much, much bigger purpose. And this lays out their process for creating change just so brilliantly. It's a simple three-step logic. First, you get young people engaged and you empower them. Second, you teach them real practical skills that improve both community health and climate resilience. And third, you use the networks that are already there, like faith communities and the diaspora, to grow the whole movement. It's clear, it's logical, and it's totally scalable. So with a strong model in place, the next big challenge is getting the right people to actually pay attention. For Cohandy, this meant pitching their idea to a major global initiative called the 17 Rooms Challenge. The goal here was really specific: get noticed by the 17 Rooms Initiative. This is a project that's connected to the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. This initiative brings together experts in 17 different rooms, and each room is focused on a specific global problem, everything from climate action to ending poverty. Cohandy had to prove that their model was relevant. And this, right here, this brings us to the core of this whole explainer. How does a single model that's focused on youth-led repairs get a seat at the table and conversations about so many different global issues? Well, the answer is all about strategic framing. This is really where their genius lies. I mean, just look at these two pitch subjects. For the Climate Action Room, they're talking about climate resilience and infrastructure care. But for the Maternal Health Room, the exact same model is framed as sacred home repair and tenant defense. It's the same work, just being viewed through two completely different lenses. And they take this even a step further. For the climate funders, they put a magnifying glass on the gardening and call it climate learning. But for the health funders, they focused on the repairs and call it Safety First Home Repair for Mothers. They aren't changing what they do. They're just changing which part of their impact they put under the microscope for each audience. It's so smart. And this strategic framing goes for different types of stakeholders too. For policymakers, the language is this really crisp, outcome-focused equation. This plus this equals a better community. Simple. But for philanthropic donors, the people with the checkbooks, the language completely shifts to investment terms. Scalable delivery system, trackable outputs, high ROI. It just shows they get what motivates each group. So why does any of this matter? Because this is about way more than just clever marketing. It shows the incredible power of a truly flexible idea paired with some really smart, targeted communication. And this isn't just talk. The model's designed to produce real, measurable results. They're projecting that they'll activate 2,000 youth stewards, deliver over 10,000 hours of climate learning, and benefit 20,000 residents. The fact that they can track this kind of impact is what makes their pitches so believable.
Of all their metrics, this one might be the most powerful, especially for funders. They project that for every single dollar of donor funding, they can generate $3 in community value through volunteer labor and other support. I mean, that is a compelling return on investment that just proves how efficient the model is.
So, what are the big lessons here? First, frame your solution using your audience's language and their values. Second, show how your local actions connect to those big global goals. Third, remember that a single, really powerful model can solve a lot of problems all at once. And finally, turn simple maintenance into a mission and then back it all up with clear, compelling data. And this leaves us with one final provocative thought. Cohandy took mundane repairs and turned them into a mission of sacred stewardship. It really makes you wonder, what overlooked problem in your own community could be reframed, re-energized, and turned into a powerful movement for change?